What is up, guys? Chris Barter first here, and welcome back to episode. Well, this isn't talking trains, but I want to talk about. Before I talked about my favorite rail fan locations, but I've never talked about my top 5 favorite locomotives of all time. By the way, all of these are going to be diesel, so there's no steam locomotives in this. But without further ado, let's get right on into it. Up first on the list is the SD40-2. Now, the SD40-2 is up first, and it's on my top 5 favorite locomotives. And why it's at number 5 is because SD40-2s were really the locomotive that put EMD in great business. And made it catch up with GE, but of course GE would never, EMD would never catch up with GE, because GE is more, they got better parts and more better power in their locomotives, but this is really what made EMD not, like, go out of business. Some other things I liked about the SD40-2 is, I like the front and back of it, how much bigger it is. The the frontal locomotive and the back, how much room there is you can stand on. I like that. And overall, it's a really unique looking locomotive. I like it a lot. And basically, it's just the upgraded version of the GP38-2, basically. And I like it. I like it a lot. I like the horns sometimes that they have. They either have a Navy K5 LA or and sometimes they'll have Leslie RS3Ls and RS5Ts, and they'll have a Nathan P5 air horn on it. And yeah, so that's what makes this locomotive on my fifth favorite, as my fifth favorite locomotive on my top 5 favorite locomotives. Up next on the list is the GE-9. Now, why is this on number 4 of my favorite locomotives? Well, I like Dash 9s. I like them a lot. One reason why I like Dash 9s is because they're like one of the most oldest, most popular locomotives still used today that you can see. Let me rephrase that. It's one of the most oldest GE locomotive, most popular oldest GE locomotive that you can see today. And honestly, I like the way they look. I like how their headlights are mounted, especially on CSX. And it's just an older version of the Dash. It's just an basically the older version of the AC 44 CWs, 4400 CWs. Yeah. So that's all I can say about the Dash 9. Up next is the predecessor of the GE-9. Up next is the GE-8. Now, I think everybody can know why this is number 3 on my top 5 favorite locomotives. I love Dash 8s. For one reason, they are so rare. It's unbelievable how rare these are. Actually, the only railroad that uses them the most is CSX, and that's it. for the Class 1. But I like Dash 8s a lot. I like how their headlights were mounted. I like their horns. I even like the look of their fuel tanks. And everything about it's just, I like. It's probably one of the oldest GE locomotives that the railroads use. I mean, the Class 1 railroads use, probably. It's not the most popular. It's probably one of the most rarest, honestly. It's probably the rarest. But yeah. I like Dash 8s. Dash 8s, yeah, they were back from the 1980s. And, yeah. And, I mean, I talked about these things before, and, I like Dash 8s. That's all I can say about them, is I like them, I like seeing them. It's pretty neat to see them lead a train. I mean, you don't see these things that much anymore. That's one of the main reasons why they're one of my favorites. I mean, it is a rail fan favorite. That making GE's Dash 8 on my number third spot on my top 5 favorite locomotives. Up next on the list is the EMD SD70 ACE or SD70 Ace. This locomotive is my second, and I absolutely am a fan of this locomotive. I like SD70 Aces a lot. One of the reasons why I like them is I mean, come on now. They got some of the coolest horns on the railroad. It's got one of the best horns on the railroad. The Nathan K5LLA air horn. Let's have a listen. And another thing I like about this locomotive is I like the body shape of it. I like that huge flared radiator, and the back of it looks pretty sweet too. This thing, when you see one of these things go by, you better get the heck out of the way, because these locomotives need being bossed. I like these locomotives a lot. And another reason why I like them is that most heritage units are painted. I think all of Union Pacifics are painted in SD70 Aces. I'll tell you right now, this is really, really cool. And, yeah, because of those reasons, that's what makes the SD70 Ace my number second spot on my top 5 favorite locomotives. Oh, I bet you folks were expecting this one. My first favorite locomotive of all time is a EMD High Hood GP38-2. I love these things, and I mean, come on, these are a part of the Southern Railway. For one, they're so unique with the high hood, and I think they're like one of the most coolest locomotives there ever were to exist. I really do love these things, and they're rare. They're very rare. And actually, this spring break, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go see one, actually in operation on the Colebrookdale Railroad. So stay tuned for that. Um, yeah. High hoods. I love all high hoods, but GP38-2s are my favorite out of all of them. It's my first favorite locomotive. I mean, this is favorite locomotive type of all time. Because I like it's nothing more displayed. Plus, they have some really cool horns, like the Nathan P5. Sometimes you'll get Leslie's on them. And one of my other favorite horns that I like is the Nathan P3, which you guys probably don't know what it sounds like. So, if you don't know what it sounds like, here's an example for you. Yep, that sounds pretty sweet, doesn't it? Not much I can say about high hoods. I mean, I talked about this in one of my Talking Train series videos. But yeah, this is it. This is the winner right here. I love these things. I I I hail down to them. I like them so much. But yeah, and plus because they're a part of Southern Railway and because of how unique, which because of those features, that's what makes the High Hood GP38-2 my first favorite locomotive on my top 5 favorite locomotives of all time. So folks, that's rundown on my top 5 favorite locomotives of all time. Of course, that GP38-2 High Hood or High Hood GP38-2 is my numero uno. I love that thing so much. But yeah, I got many others. Those other locomotives I didn't mention doesn't mean that I don't like them. They're just not my top 5. They might be my top 10. But I decided to do my top 5 for this video. But anyways, thank you for watching.